We are ready to sit down with our first guest of the day today. It's Stan Lorenz. Hey, Stan.
I'm here again.
How you doing?
You're working on being a regular.
I am.
That's all right.
I've already had celebrity notoriety on Main Street.
That's good.
Yeah.
We like that.
Well.
Good to hear.
That's right. There you go.
Stan was here the other day and talked with us about Saturdays, etc., their consignment shop. Today, we're going to talk about something else, though. It's another avenue that Stan works with, and it's taxidermy. His business is Advanced Taxidermy. And Stan, tell us how you got started doing taxidermy.
Well, I was kind of fortunate. I grew up around it because my father had taken a correspondence course early in his life, and he loved to hunt and fish, and so he just kind of did it for himself, and so I just grew up around it. I love animals, and kind of worked with him, and then in my teenage years I kind of developed it into a part-time business, and then eventually it became a full-time business.
Okay.
So you're self-taught, I guess.
I am.
With some pointers from your pops.
Yeah, nowadays you can buy a video, and it will tell you how to do everything from birds to big game animals. So it's much easier to learn now than it was back then.
So you have this as part of your business on Main Street, is that right?
I do, yes. We're in the back of the Saturday store.
How does taxidermy work? I've never actually watched a taxidermist. I imagine the steps are different depending on what you're working with, but I'm a little confused about how this process goes.
Well, it's fairly technical when you get involved in it, but we have taxidermy supply houses that we go through, and we order foam mannequins for like deer heads and bird bodies and that type of thing. It's a specially molded body to go inside of the skin. So you take out all the flesh, all the bones, and then replace it with foam, and then sew it up and position it and that type of thing.
So there's no chemicals or anything like that are used?
There are some chemicals. We do tan some of the hides that we put together for deer hides.
Okay.
And then there's powdered chemicals for birds and fish to preserve the skin.
Okay.
A new thing that's come along in the last few years is the, I guess I don't know, what is the technical term? Not a fake mount, but
A replica?
Replica, I guess. Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
That's become popular, and you also work with those.
Yes, yeah. Catch and release is getting to be bigger and bigger, and so we do have to do replicas. All the fishermen have to do is just take a measurement of the fish or weigh the fish, and then we can purchase a replica that'll be relatively close to that same size. And
Okay.
then we have to paint it.
So you need a picture of it too.
Or that would help.
If the fish has got a different color to it, sometimes the Canadian fish, walleyes in particular, are darker because they have more iron in the water up there. So it helps if we have a picture. But if it's just a relatively common fish, we have basic paint schedules that we go by.
Okay.
And we can paint it.
The walleye fishermen will appreciate this question. What is the biggest walleye you've ever done?
I did one that was 13 pounds, 12 ounces.
Nice.
It was pretty good size
That's
fish.
a big walleye.
Yep.
Wow. So I'm kind of gathering, as we talked a little bit earlier, that you get calls from all over.
Yeah, we have a website. It's www.taxidermypros.com, and it's got a link that will take you to our website of Advanced Taxidermy, and it's got a photo gallery on it, and it's nationwide. But yeah, I just working on a project with a guy down in Rogersville, Tennessee, for a life-size black bear. So we get work from all over. Yeah.
Neat.
A life-size black bear.
Yes.
What are maybe some of the other animals? Let's take out the white-tailed deer and the walleyes and the pheasants and the coyotes. What are maybe some of the more unique pieces that you've done as far as maybe big trophy bears or elk or something like that?
Well, we did several Boone and Crockett elk that were huge. And we do a lot of odd things. We were talking before the show here that the part of the neat part of this type of a business is you never know when the phone rings what you're going to be dealt with. And we've done tarantulas, we've done scorpions, we've done snakes, we've done parakeets, done a little bit of everything.
Wow.
Over the 45 years that I've been doing it. It doesn't
Amazing.
seem like it's been that long, but it has.
Wow.
I'm sure every animal is different, but generally, what kind of cost are you looking at?
Well, yeah, you're right. It varies. Birds are probably, I don't want to say the cheapest, but the least expensive mounts. They range anywhere from $85 up to $300. And then when you start getting into fish, the larger fish we charge by the inch. We get $9.75 an inch. So an average walleye would probably run $250 to $300.
Okay.
And then deer heads are right around $400, $450. So it just varies. This life-size bear will probably be $3,500 by the time it's done. We put a lot of effort into putting the animal back in a natural habitat setting.
Oh, sure.
And so those get expensive to do and are time consuming, but it's fun to be able to be creative and do that.
Typically, how long does the process of taxidermy take? And there again, I know it depends on the item, but if you were to devote a regular work day, how long would you estimate?
Well, I'll just use a pheasant for example because we've done tens of thousands of them, but a pheasant will take me about 2 to 3 hours to complete from start to finish.
Okay.
Then it has to dry in that position so the skin will tighten up and lock all the feathers in place. And then there's a little bit of painting to do to it after the item is dry, and then it can go back to the customer. So normally most people ask me what's your turnaround time. Generally on deer it's around 6 months. On birds it's probably 6 weeks. Fish are around 6 to 8 weeks. So
Okay.
it kind of varies according to the specimen.
Sure.
Sure, absolutely.
Now, if anyone wants to see some of your work, you do have a few items on display in the store, and I'm sure you have others too as well.
I do. Yeah, we've got some. We've got a pair of wood ducks in a wood duck house, and we've got a replica walleye, and we've got a deer head, and so we've got a few things that they can come in and take a look at. And I tell people that when you do get something that you want to have mounted, check out 2 or 3 taxidermists because it's something that is going to hang in your house for a long time, and
Sure.
we want you to be satisfied with it. And we work real closely with the customer to give him exactly what he wants done.
Do you do the engraving plates too to go with the item?
I don't personally do them, but I do have an outlet where I can get them and we can put them on. A lot of
Okay.
people do that.
Sure. Well, we mentioned the website, taxidermypros.com. What's your phone number if people wanted more information?
It's area code 605-370-9454. And that's, generally when you call that, you'll speak to me personally. If I'm busy or on another line, you can leave a voicemail and I'll get right back to you.
Okay.
How about transportation of the items? Like this black bear, will they bring it here to you? Do you meet them? How does that work?
That'll get shipped out probably overnight. FedEx, it's already skinned out. The guide skinned it out. And but shipping, we ship stuff all over the world. We ship thousands and thousands and thousands of birds over the years, and we send them either through the post office or UPS. We make custom crates for them.
Well, and the people who are here locally have it pretty good because they can come and see you.
Yeah.
That's right. There you go.
Okay. It sounds like it's an interesting job.
It is. It's a lot of people, just like yourself, don't realize what goes into it, but it is an art form.
Okay.
And it's getting, I would say, more technical every year because of the wildlife prints, and people kind of know what things are supposed to look like now. Mm-hmm. And so they want them really back to as perfect as you can get them. And that's good for us because it makes us work and makes us take more training and want to get better. And there's taxidermy competitions, there's world competitions, there's every state has a taxidermy association, and they have competitions yearly. So that makes all of us come up to a higher standard.
Do you compete in any of those?
I have in the past, but now it takes a lot of time, and I don't want to put my customers' work on the back burner to do a competition piece. Most people that compete in state or world competitions will spend hundreds of hours on one item to get it as perfect as they can. And I just don't have that time anymore.
You kind of have to be like a surgeon. You have to have a steady hand. I'm thinking especially if you're working with small game.
Oh yeah, I use a surgical scalpel just like a surgeon would use. It's very sharp. I've cut myself hundreds of times. But yeah, there's certain tools. It doesn't cost a lot to start. In the taxidermy business, you don't have to have a lot of tools or a lot of expense, but you do have to have a lot of patience, and you do have to have a lot of knowledge of what the animal is like when it's alive, so that you can recreate that.
Absolutely. Wow. Well, again, it's Advanced Taxidermy, and you can find Stan right here in Ortonville on Main Street. He's in the Saturdays, etc. consignment building.